morning, everybody, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world. This is Coast to Coast, and it is our 600th episode. Man.
Happy birthday to us.
Right?
Kind of. 600 episodes. Who would have thought? Who'd have thought that we would have gone this long?
Right? and shout out to all you watching that do that for some reason.
Hey, if it wasn't for you guys, we would still be talking to nobody.
That is true. Nah, very cool though. Very cool. That is kind of a neat milestone. Because I mean, basically, it means you've solidly done this for 3 years. So, yeah, kind of cool.
It's wow, 3 years.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Especially for a daily show.
Makes. Yeah, the difference a day makes. I mean, like you think about that in the grand scheme of things, and like when we first started this off, and Mac says, "Hey, I got this guy from Seattle. Maybe these two should get together and start, a show."
He wasn't wrong. He was, the way it started was hilarious though, because he reaches out and he's like, "Yeah, I think I got a guy that you should work with." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And then we had a 10-minute conversation on the phone, and then we went live. that was the prep. And of course, when it started, it was a 2-hour show. So it was the first 6 months of this thing was a 2-hour show. And it was just funny that we had a conversation again, 10 minutes on the phone. And then that following Monday, it was and here we go.
Let's get started. See, the interesting part about that is that it's initially when you start that, you can actually interview each other.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how you get to find out who each of us was. I was a lot more known at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was I had, I again, it's not like me trying to pat myself on the back here, but
also
that whole exactly. Yeah. That whole network. I mean, I was the vice president of that network because I had the most followers, and it was, like I said, when I first started with Mac, I mean, they had me come on the show, and I'm painted up. I painted up for my very first show with him. And
funny.
He's like, you should do your own show, or you should come on our show all the time. So it was Mac, Jack, and me for a long time. Yeah. And then he says, "Hey, you should do your own half-hour show." It's I'd get up every morning at 7:00 in the morning and do a show from 7 to 7:30 that was completely Philadelphia related. It was going over Philadelphia sports, and I would do it by myself. And then he's like, and then I'm like, I was getting bored with that because
monologues are tough.
Yeah, it's you could go ahead and do a whole bunch of talking and do whatever you want, and you could start to get excited about something. But at 7:00 in the morning, most people are on their way to work. Yeah. So, I mean, nowadays they have Bluetooth in cars, which makes it a little bit easier. But
I forgot you were recording to cassette tape back then.
Yeah, just about. I hit the record on the 8-track and then figured out which track you were on. So it's it was a whole different scenario for that. And now it's now look at us. We have Joe show up all the time. Brad's always here.
When absolutely.
Mom is always checking in.
Yep. Yeah, no, I mean, and it's when we started this, I had been doing podcasting stuff for, I don't know, maybe a year. Right. And probably about a year, I guess. And Yeah, I wasn't super known, right? I wasn't media credentialed or any of those types of things. And yesterday I had a conversation about potentially being the play-by-play announcer for kickboxing. So
that is, have you ever been a play-by-play announcer?
No, that's what's kind of cool about it. I did get offered a job to do it for football, but I would have had to relocate, and there was just no way I was going to move to Spokane. So,
okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, so it's a conversation that's happening now. It would be a ways out still, but would be fun.
Because that's also a learned, like, you have to learn that.
Yes.
You got to teach yourself. That's not something that you just pick up. Color commentary, a little different. Being the color, you can do that.
Yeah. So it's going to be a blend of the two, because it'll be at the fight.
Right. No, obviously it has to be at the fight, or else you're not doing it well. And it's, and the harder part about that is you're half watching in the ring, but also you're watching on a monitor. You don't have the choice, because you gotta see everything that's going on. And it's
exactly
it's an art. It's not something that's just you could just go simply and easily do.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. It I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be cool. Always expanding what it is we do. So that's like I covered the Torchlight Parade here in Seattle over the weekend, and it's a little bit funny for them to reach out to a sports guy to cover their event, but it was fun. It was fun. I hadn't been to the Torchlight Parade since probably in 20 years, so it was kind of cool to go down there and do that again.
And it was so awesome that they were having a parade to celebrate our 600th birthday, our 600th episode.
Right? Look at Seattle getting after it.
I mean, Seattle's not only doing that, but then to have those guys jump off of the Space Needle.
Right.
And literally the search is on for those two guys. Sorry, I'm back in Philly. You ain't catching me. That was a great jump.
Right.
That was a great jump. Oh.
Also, to celebrate our 600th, LeBron goes to Philly. So here we go. 6th man of the year loading.
It's funny how we would have said we were going to do that live, and we missed it by minutes.
Yeah.
Literally by minutes. It was like he put the post out at like 10:34 or something like that.
Yeah.
I know I wound up getting a message saying, "Hey, are you at the hospital?" Which was a funny question for my agent to ask, but my Jody's father was getting a procedure done, so
gotcha.
He didn't know whether I was there or not. That's so, and everybody's fine. Everybody's great. Everybody did wonderful. Okay. So
that's good.
No issues there. But if you're not at the hospital, you need to do something about LeBron James.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, why? He's like, he just signed with Philadelphia. I'm like, is that real? He then sent the LeBron James text, or the tweets, and I was like, okay. So I literally I threw on my Julius Erving jersey and ran outside for this. It's like, all right, now I gotta do something, and I didn't even know what to say. Like, this was like, hey, LeBron James is coming to Philadelphia, and that's a big deal. I get it.
Sure.
And there's so much to be said with that. Like, it's like we talked about it briefly, and like, it's like, okay, but now it's actually happened. He's here for 2 years at $8 million.
And cheap. He's there cheap.
And it's like, okay, now what do I do? Like, what is it that, it's because it's changed everything. And I'm going to say yesterday, and I'm going to say it as much as like yesterday, but you know what I mean, the proverbial yesterday.
Yep.
I had such a problem with the Sixers organization.
Yeah.
And they fired everybody. I had a
Yep.
problem with ownership because I felt that they were disconnected. Well,
Okay.
I have to rescind some of that disdain because they have done what's needed to be done. Like he has paid attention. He's decided, okay, that experiment did not work. Yeah, you've had your opportunity. It's done. I got to bring in some Philly people.
Yep.
If I'm and a little bit of a shout out to them. Like I'm going to give them a little bit of flowers here.
Oh man, if you're part of that organization, you better start recording this part of the show.
But I mean, beyond beyond LeBron, they started to do things that made sense for Philadelphia, not for I said, when you're putting out a bad product on the floor, when you are creating a situation that in a playoff game there are more opposing fans in your stadium.
Yep.
Now I know this as an Eagles fan because we do this to stadiums. Sure. But when they did it to us, that's a no bueno. That's a no bueno. That is the telltale sign that your city has lost you and you are not interested. We are not interested. And they literally said, oh, okay, we got to change that. We have to completely change that. And 2 months later now, we went from 6th in the conference to arguably the number 1 seed.
Yeah, I mean, top 3 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be Knicks Sixers right now. You're not going to do. Yeah. I mean, you could maybe put the Celtics in that 3 spots. Maybe.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking. Is that would be your interchangeable 3. And I mean, the only thing that I worry about with the Sixers is how many games will they actually play together?
I put that over under at 25.
Yeah, that seems right. No, honestly, that seems right. Like injuries with these particular guys, that just seems like that's what it's going to be. Unless he's coming off the bench. What's up, Cam?
So I'll be honest. I think I would put him off the bench, but I know that that's not you.
He'll be at the 4.
He's going to be at the 4.
Start. He's going to be the 4.
It's going to be 3 guards, him, and here's what I hope, Cam. I really hope and pray that he makes Joel Embiid play the center position. Go and play the actual 5 spot. Go get rebounds. Hey, listen, I hope so. I just put that as the over-under.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's a real over-under, I think.
It is.
They could play as many 40 games. They could play up to 40, I would think. But I don't think that they play 80. Maybe they play.
I don't think individually any of them play 80. So
right, I think that's you're at the 60. So where?
Yeah, who's
where?
Yeah, and where would you get enough return to make it worth it?
And I'll tell you what, there's no way that you could do that this year.
Yeah.
You have to do that. That's a next year thing. You now have put. I understand that they are going to try to do Anthony Davis. That they are working on trying to bring him here. I get it, and that's a thing that was part of the conversation. It was always part of the conversation. So. And that's why it's a 2-year situation, because AD is available next year, if I remember correctly, that he becomes an actual free agent and that he would come here in that regards if they can't trade for him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You don't want to, like AD. That's just another guy that gets hurt all the time. Like
I 100%, but it was part of the conversation, and I'm just saying that it was part of the conversation. I know that you heard what he kind of wants in the middle of this, and he's got a bromance with AD. I just can't help that. You know what I mean? So, Jimmy, I think that's not happening, but well, this is not a time to talk about the Flyers. Not a time to talk about the Flyers. We're talking about the Sixers.
Yeah. No, it just made me laugh is all. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to put AD in that mix. And I get when he's healthy, he is a phenomenal player. The problem is the first part of that statement is when he's healthy. And he just isn't healthy consistently throughout his career. And although he's had a couple of seasons where he was mostly healthy and looked great, those are the outlier years for what he does. And then you have Embiid, who doesn't stay healthy. You have LeBron that, over the last 5 years hasn't stayed healthy.
Here's a bigger question. And I would actually, Cam, he should maybe send this off to Cam, see if he wants to jump on. Okay. This would be a good time for you to jump on, Cam.
I mean, Cam's awake, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like they brought in Kidd. They signed Allen Iverson to be a coach. And I'm thinking that you want to talk about going all in to try to they are going all in on a championship this year, which I am excited for. I'm excited for the fact that they have figured out and have legitimately done an all in. This is an all in move. Okay, we're gonna get LeBron James. We're gonna talk him into coming here more than going anywhere else.
Sure.
We are going to bring in Jason Kidd because he's familiar with him. He's never had Nick Nurse as a coach. We got to bring in Kidd just in case. And now Allen Iverson, the most beloved player to ever put on a Sixers uniform beyond Dr. J. Like I says, I'm not trying to, disparage anybody who lived through the 80s to do that. But Allen Iverson is definitely in that, high in that conversation, who's never had a ring here.
Mm-hmm.
They hired him as a coach as well. So it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time to be a 76ers fan. And it's going to create a buzz in this city that could start very early. If the Eagles have the type of season that I think they're going to have.
Sure.
And then it goes with, you have a renewed, a rejuvenation of the Flyers brand. And now you have this feeling. I mean, LeBron coming to the 76ers broke the internet.
Oh, yeah.
The Sixers site went down.
I mean, they won't be able to produce that jersey fast enough.
Right.
Those things are going to be selling out.
It's a great looking jersey. And they're going to produce 5 different jerseys because they got the blue, then they got the red, then they got the black, then they got the retro. They got all of those jerseys that are part of now what's going to be LeBron James.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the question everybody has, is how healthy can any of them be, right? Including LeBron. How healthy can any of these guys stay? And
there's still
we don't know.
Big glaring problem that I foresee. Bench. Yeah. We still the bench is a problem still. We've got LeBron James now. Woohoo. I mean, you got Phylon, who's going to be, he's going to be the 6th or 7th guy. I know you got Edgecombe. He's going to switch back and forth with him. You need to hope that those guys pan out. you're going to need to get a couple of extra guys on the bench. And where do you get them? How do they appear? Like, where do you snap your fingers at and the bench show up? And especially if you want them to play long periods of time. When I say long periods of time, I mean, you have to put LeBron and Embiid at around 26 minutes a game.
I was going to say, whoever's coming off your bench is 25 minutes for sure.
Right. And that means 2 guys off the bench like that.
Yeah.
And that's just those 2. Now you're still got 3 guards. I mean, you're not going to play Maxey for 48 minutes. You're not going to do that to Jaylen Brown. Like everybody else is still not going to play 48 minutes. So you better start figuring that out. Right? We're going to need some real players to be able to fill out the roster. Having a great 5 is great, but it's only great for 26 minutes a game.
Yeah. And only 25 games. And of course, you can jump in on that over-under right here on Coast to Coast using the QR code on the screen. Up to 125% of your first 3 deposits, 10% bet guarantee, in case somehow those guys play more than 25 games together.
I mean, they got the first preseason game at, $500 to get in right now. It's like $400 for a preseason game against Boston, which is great at the Xfinity Mobile Arena, not the Wells Fargo Center, not the Core State Center. Xfinity Mobile Arena. And I'll tell you, it's likely LeBron doesn't even play. I mean, there's a piece, right? It's a preseason game. Why would he play in that? I mean, you may see him. He may start the game, and then he'll go sit on the bench, or go back to the locker room. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he'll have 5 minutes in that game.
Maybe
just for the walk up and give the fans something to see for the first time, and then that's it.
Yeah. And really, truth of the matter is that if I would only do, I mean, I guess they'd have to announce him. They'd have to announce him if he's going to be there on the court doing warm-ups.
Well, that's the thing, is you're not going to miss that opportunity for your first time to introduce him to your fan base.
Joe, this is the reason why you are a bad bettor. When you make statements like that, you tell me that you do not watch basketball. I get it. I understand that, you are trying to incorporate Dallas Cowboy logic to
basketball. Yeah.
Doesn't work that way. And let's be for real. I mean, it's so, and there was they did the whole, all right, what does LeBron James do to this team in the grand scheme of things? And let's do it all on 2K26. Let's here's what will happen. And of course the Sixers win the championship.
Yeah, naturally, because everybody stayed healthy.
and they beat San Antonio again.
Oh, okay.
Which I found really interesting, because that made me wonder, is San Antonio or OKC that would come from that side?
Yeah.
And it was San Antonio again. So, listen, it's been since 1983. It's been since 2001 since we've been to a finals.
Yeah.
We haven't been out of the second round since.
No,
yeah, I know that for a fact. I've lived it.
No. That's crazy.
It's 83 was the culmination of Philly with the championships during that time, and because in 1980, all 4 Philadelphia teams went to the final. We lost 3 of the 4.
Yeah.
It was like the Lakers swept. That was the Magic Johnson as center.
Yeah.
That swept us in 4. And then the Phillies won the World Series. The Eagles lost to Oakland at the time. And the Flyers got gypped out of the Stanley Cup by a bad offsides call, non-offsides call against the New York Islanders. So, but that's at 1983. The Sixers went to the championship. The Phillies also went to the World Series. That was they recreated the Reds. The Red Machine. It was like the old Red Machine is what it was, because it was like Pete Rose and like all the Reds that were good in the 70s were playing on the Phillies in the 80s and got lost 4-1 to the Orioles in that World Series. Flyers also went to the Stanley Cup that year and lost. So there was, I mean, but that was like the end. Yeah. Everything after that became, the Eagles stunk that year, by the way. So there wasn't 4. It wasn't 4 for 4.
Yeah, it was there were some lean years for your Eagles.
Well, after you had the retirement ceremony of Dick Vermeil, and they brought in the Swamp Fox, Marion Campbell, and the Swamp Fox was great as an offensive coordinator. He was the perfect offensive coordinator, the worst head coach. And that's how that all began. And that was also during the time when the ownership of the Eagles was gambling and drinking too much, and Leonard Toews was giving up. He had to sell the team, and ultimately sold the team to Norman Brayman, who sold used cars and was a blight of Philadelphia for a long time, for as long as he owned the team.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, there you go. But welcome to Philadelphia, LeBron. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a very interesting year. Like I said, I was asked nonstop,
sure,
what do I think about LeBron? And my response was, the Sixers became a lot more interesting than a couple days ago.
No question. Yeah, I mean, if they stay healthy, then yeah, you're a top 2 team, right? It's just, we've seen this movie before. It makes me think of the Nets, right? The 12 games those guys played together, lights out. But there was 12 of them in a really long season. So, when I look at this, it's like, yeah, if they can stay healthy, they're going to be awesome. But that's the question, right? Chicken finger day. Let's go.
And there's more to this story. I mean, obviously, there's a lot more to that. Like I said, what I was just talking about is a real thing.
Yeah.
They've got now 6 guys or 7 guys that are on this team. And right now, as far as I got, we don't have a backup center. I mean, I'm sure we could re-sign whoever our backup was last year. I know that, like I said, he's been on the team for a couple of years. He left, he came back. He likes Philadelphia. It's not, he can still rebound. But it's like, is he going to be on this team? Like, is that one of the guys that we've got? Or are we going to maybe try to go younger in that regard? Is what I do hope actually does happen is that wherever LeBron does go, there are no names that start to get considerably better because of his arrival. That he does have a way about the way that he practices or whatever that is able to make some of his teammates much better than they've ever been.
Yeah. I mean, any of your elite caliber guys should be able to do that.
So, and that's where I hope that, and listen, because I couldn't even tell you who is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, I could probably tell you Bronny is going to be number 12, just because I could imagine that was also part of the mix here.
What's funny is I haven't heard that yet, that Bronny is coming.
Yeah.
As it sits today, it sounds like he's staying in LA, and that is interesting.
Well, actually, it's not interesting. It's just that's the way it is. I mean, contracts are contracts, and let me tell you, it's not easy. And it may be time
to get away from his dad,
exactly. or to have dad get away from him. Like, listen, Dad, right. I appreciate everything that you've done for me. You got me this great contract. We changed the whole draft now because I came out, and it's super exciting.
We got to play together. Now I need to play by myself. Yeah, no, I get it. It's just
time for me to fly.
Yeah, but because his dad isn't there, does he basically play G League ball now?
Well, you know what? I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
You better start to bring it there, young man.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's time for you to play. Like, listen, you want to get out of the shadows, you got to start to actually play like you need to, like you want to be out of the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that. It's not, and that's not doing anything other than it's time. It's time. It's like, hey, time to be a big boy now. You know what I mean? Like, daddy helped you get where you needed to get to. Show that you are your own man. And you don't have to be your father.
Yeah.
That's not, you have to be you. And
you don't have to be all world.
Right.
You do have to be a NBA caliber player, though.
Be LaMelo Ball.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah, you could be any one of the players. You just got to be you. You cannot continue to be in the shadow of dad. So it's probably best that his son is now not going to be on the same team.
I mean, it's going to let you know if he can be that guy or not, right? And I don't mean that guy is like take over a team or any of that, but can he effectively be an NBA player? Or is he just a top-level G League guy?
Well, and then my next question becomes...
And Joe, yes.
We have, in theory, 2 years of LeBron left.
Yeah.
Now, he was getting anointed at the end of obviously he played a good amount of time with Kobe.
Yep.
It's just 24 seasons in. That means in 2002 he was showing up. You know what I mean? So they were winning championships. Kobe was the man over there, and he was still with Shaq back then.
Yeah.
So is there the next one?
I mean, the league is always trying for the next one, right? Like they're always trying to force feed you who's next. And the problem is there generally isn't that guy, right? When you think through the years, the generational talents are not all the time, right? Like before LeBron, right? You had Kobe, Jordan, Bird and Magic, Wilt, right? Like, I mean, you're not like, it's not like there's thousands of them, right? Like you're talking a handful of guys, and they're always trying to force feed you somebody that came out that has some hype coming out of college that might have a good rookie campaign or something. They're like, he's going to be the next Jordan. It's like, yeah, pump the brakes, calm down. Like, let's let them actually play some basketball first and see if they can do something. Because you can end up with guys like Derrick Rose, who look like they were going to be amazing, end up with an injury that you just never came back from. Right. And so is there going to be a guy? Sure. Do I think he's in the league yet? No.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, we started to hear about LeBron James
in high school
at 14.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I when I found the jersey, I was like, I have a LeBron James jersey, interestingly enough. And it's a McDonald's high school jersey.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So, which is kind of funny to me that I have that jersey. And
yeah, I mean, you were hearing about him as a phenom
at 14 years old. At 14 years old. Now, I've been hearing about the 7'8" and the 7'9" kids. Yeah. They have these couple of kids that are ridiculously taller than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, hey, everybody else on the teams are 6 foot tall. So you have this one guy who's like, thank you. Yeah, yep. I'm going to just score this point right here. That's obviously that makes him so much better than everybody else, but it's completely unfair. You know what I mean?
Well, and it won't matter once you get to the NBA. Like being taller than everybody, like obviously is good, right? You see Wemby able to do things like that, but NBA guys are stronger.
It does change your trajectory now.
Yes.
Like if you're 7'8" and
you'll get a shot.
Well, not only that, not only are you going to get a shot though, you now are going to learn how to fill in your body better.
True.
So you have all of this time to start figuring out the nutritional support that you're going to need to be so that you're going to play 1 year of college and you should be that, the dominant guy there because your body is more ready to take on adults.
Yeah. Because
they're prepping it better. You may not have the maturity.
For sure.
But you will have the size that goes along with it. Like they should be teaching him how to fill out his body better. He can't be Manute Bol was 7'6" and 110 pounds.
Yeah.
I think of who was the white guy? Sean Bradley. Sean Bradley is the perfect example of how, hey, he was height. He was always tall. He learned how to play a little bit of basketball for 2 years, but never learned how to fill into his body until just about the end.
Yeah.
And he was never, he never became anything because he didn't work his way into it.
Yeah.
You got a couple of these guys that are out there, young kids that are ridiculously tall, that they're going to be able to work into it a little bit. But there isn't anybody else. There isn't any other name that strikes.
And they still, even with those, you're not thinking, oh, they're the next LeBron James or Jordan, or like that's not popping in your head. You're like, they can be very good in the league. Like they could, be in that upper echelon, but you're not looking at them as, oh, you're probably going to be the next Jordan.
No, you would actually go the opposite way that, oh, you probably could become the next Shaq.
Yeah.
You're going big men. So you think Shaq, you think.
Oh, I didn't mean Jordan specifically. I just meant a guy that's revolutionizing the game. Right.
Correct.
And I don't see anybody that is there or is close that is that guy. At least not yet. Because, when you think of, Jordan and LeBron, like you were hearing about them before they got to the league. Right. And not just like, oh yeah, he's tall and he's got skill, whatever. You're hearing about him as, oh, these guys are like otherworldly talent. Right. And you're just not seeing that at the moment.
And it was so much different in the 80s.
Sure.
I mean, think about it. Jordan got chosen to pick third.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you got to think about like, hey, what happened? What would have happened if he was chosen first?
Sure.
Would he have been the same guy? You know, it could have been the fact that he was chosen third, that the pressure of not being the number one pick, the coaching staff being that different, was more of the catalyst and more of the chip on his shoulder. Like if he was chosen first, that chip on his shoulder may not have been there. The work ethic may not have been as strong. You know, like.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would have been just because of, you know, getting cut from his team when he was younger. I think probably instilled most of that. I don't know that falling 2 spots in the draft created that so much. That being said, would it have been different had he been picked number 1? Yeah, sometimes, I mean, you know, you see it in every sport. Fit matters, right? So you could have a great career on a team and be listed as a bust going to the next one in the draft, just because the coaching staff and the fit don't make sense for the way you play.
Right. You know, so it's, I mean, the Sixers are keen on that. You know, how many first picks of the draft came out to be duds, you know? Let me just mention Markelle Fultz. So he was a big dud.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, there you go. I don't know. We're going to get to see what you get out of LeBron and kind of how this thing shapes up. But I think it does put a timeline on the end of his career for sure. I would say that that 2-year mark. And then, you know, like we were talking about the other day, does he become one of the owners of the new expansion teams, you know, Vegas, right? The timeline works. So
maybe. I mean, there's been tons and tons and tons of different speculations on why he chose Philadelphia and anything. Truth of the matter is that there's only one person who knows exactly the reason why he chose Philadelphia, and that's LeBron.
Yeah, you know and I mean? He's not going to tell you.
Yeah, he knows everything that happened. You know, like they're saying, oh, well, it's because he's close to New York and close to Washington. He's going to be able to have, like, he's got his industries already figured out in LA. They're self-sufficient and can run on their own. You know, phone calls are really simple to have, you know, about like if he's got a problem or whatever.
Yep. Zoom calls. Yeah. No. Well, and then there was reports that, you know, he would spend part of his time in New York from Philly. Right. So, which would make sense, you know, but.
Yeah. So I think that you're going to have all those different types of situations. Truth of the matter is that I think it's, you know, I don't care. You know, it's great. He's here.
Yep.
You know, and now it's time to see how he ends his career.
Yeah.
I hope it's with a championship.
Well, I mean, of course. Even if you didn't like the guy, you're like, hey, if you're here, let's win.
Well, that's exactly like somebody said something to me about like whatever. I was like, hey, listen, if he, you know what? Doesn't matter how I feel about LeBron. He wins me championships. I'm going to be, I guess what? I won't have a choice. I'll like LeBron.
Exactly. You know? You'll be a de facto fan just because he brought a ring home.
I will tell you, I wasn't the biggest fan of Chase Utley when he was playing here. Like, I thought that he had his edge, but I thought he was a jerk. I wanted somebody with a little bit more personality and stuff like that. That's not important to me.
Yeah.
Though, because you could be whoever you are.
Yep.
You want to bring me a championship. I am going to accept you for who you are.
Yeah.
I don't have to like you.
Hey, it's that whole
100% respect the championship.
Yeah, it is that whole winning cures all.
I absolutely will kiss the ring. That's what I'm doing. I'm always going to kiss the ring. I'm always going to kiss the ring. I can't play. There's nothing that I can do that makes these teams win as best as I can. Sometimes with Russell Westbrook is on the other team, I can do that. But ultimately, I can't play any of these games. So I am reliant on you guys giving me the win. So you give me a ring, I'm going to kiss it.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Makes sense. Absolutely. Other sports are happening. Believe it or not. In fact, there's sports that are actually being played right now. One of them is arena football. This will be a very short segment because that is what happened to the Wolfpack. They sneak into the playoffs for the first time in franchise history. But last night, one and done for the Wolfpack. So, but again, they get into the playoffs for the first time. Most teams, when they get in for the first time, don't go win the whole thing, right? Like they get in, there's some growing pains of getting into postseason play. Generally doesn't go particularly well. This was a decent game, but come up on the short end of it. So, and then baseball is a thing. Your Phillies, get the win. Mariners get the win, although they are still falling behind because we were in we're wrapping up our series today with the Rangers. The Rangers who are leading the division, and we have dropped 2 of 3 at the moment. So they are creating a little bit of a cushion. We were a half a game back, and now we're a game and a half back. So hopefully they can tighten that up later today. We had a 4-game. But then we go against the Dodgers where they're probably going to get smoked. So.
Yeah, maybe. Frankie, I'll tell you, I was surprised at the lack of output by both teams in this series. I don't think that the pitching for either one of our teams is that great.
Yeah.
That we should, like a 1-0 game, winning 1-0. I blame the batters there. Like I said, you can't have 6 guys in scoring position and go 0 for 6. Can't do it. Then it's 3-1. Then winning that game 3-1. I mean, realistically, the game should have been only 2-1. That one run probably, the errors are killing the Phillies. They are killing the Phillies. It's like you cannot have. We're regressing from before 2022.
You guys have some. You guys have some little league plays that are going on.
It's frustrating. It's very, very frustrating to watch that. Yesterday, I kind of felt like, all right, we had one day where the bats came back into play, but I'm watching. They played Sunday Night Baseball last night, and I enjoyed listening to the team that they had call the game. I am not a Joe Girardi fan. I was not a fan when he coached the team. He is a much better commentator on the game. I have a ton of respect for his knowledge of the game. But he's obviously it's not, and then having Votto on the field and listening to his stories that he's talking about, and like he's saying, hey, listen, I see what I'm watching here is that he's uncomfortable at the plate when they're talking about Harper. He's uncomfortable at the plate. And I thought it was just me seeing it. I'm like, he just doesn't look like he's going. I want to see his best swings, Harper's best swings, start with almost a step forward. When he is so into what's going on that he sees the ball so well, he's able to step into it. And that's when he's going to hit most of his home runs. When he is doing that, it's great. And they showed exactly that he's not doing that, that he's almost like off of his back foot and swinging at the ball. And that shows me a level of uncomfortableness right now at the plate. And then it makes me think of Pete Rose when he's talking to A-Rod and Big Papi. He's like, your swing, or Frank Thomas, when he's sitting there and he's like, hey, your swing got you to the big leagues. Move up, move back, move in, move out.
Exactly.
Figure that out differently, because obviously
the swing works. Yeah.
Obviously, we're talking about Harper here. At any moment in time, he could swing the bat and get out of his own head. And I feel like that he's in his own head at the moment. How do you get somebody out of his own head? How do you get somebody to feel more comfortable up there at the plate? I guess maybe you score more runs. Be the only thing, make sure that he's not the only person that's going to hit the ball. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, take some of the pressure off. Yeah.
So there's a lot that I saw this weekend that frustrated me about this Yankee series, but also know that we're in July. The Yankees, for whatever reason, beat us in the regular season. We have this mental thing about the Yankees that we lose series to the Yankees. We've lost 4 series in a row. We broke the 4-game losing streak. I mean, it's time to start to figure out what's going to happen. And we only have a week left before the trade deadline.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a big deal, because not only like our bullpen stinks. PU.
Yeah. I mean, I'm curious to see what teams actually do anything. Cause it's one of those that, it's coming up exactly in a week, actually. It's the 4th, right? Is the deadline, or is it the 2nd? I don't remember.
I think it's the 2nd. I think it's at 4:00 on the 2nd.
Oh, okay. There we go. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It just that it's been really quiet, I guess, is my point here. You're not hearing some of the initial moves that a lot of times you do. Now, I'm not expecting the Mariners to do anything, but it's always interesting to see the players that, the pieces that move around team to team. Usually as a Mariners fan, you're like, oh, look at all these teams doing things. Well, that was fun. And, but it's been oddly quiet. And I wonder if some of that is because, at least on the AL side, everybody's bad. So nobody knows if they're buying or selling, because 90% of the league is under 500.
Right. Well, teams to look at that I think are in the process, or that are going to be in the process of selling, that shouldn't sell.
Yeah.
That's what I'll put this at.
Okay.
The Detroit Tigers.
Sure.
The Detroit Tigers, I think, are going to be sellers on this one, because they have McGonigal, and I think that they are going to sit this one out and try to get themselves assets to be part of the youth movement to start to put together the team to go around McGonigal.
Okay.
So I think that they're going to. I think it's going. I think now they're not far enough away that they could possibly still make a run. I mean, they are.
They're still a good team. Yeah.
3.5 games back from the wild card, which is not a lot in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
But I think that they make the decision to sit this one out. The Athletics is also going to be one of those teams that, are going to sell. They're going to sell everything. Let's sell, so that we get into our first year in Vegas and we stink out loud. Our second year in Vegas, everybody gets comfortable and we start to win games. That's how that's going to do that. So,
and you have to assume the Angels are also sellers.
Well, the Angels are the worst team in baseball at the moment, it seems.
That's what I'm saying.
So, them and the Rockies are both kind of in that same boat. You try to pillage anything that you can from them.
Exactly.
I'm going to tell you that I would not be surprised to see the Rays make some trades. The Rays are winning games because they have a tremendous amount of bullpen.
Yep.
They need a bat. They need a bat. Kind of like everybody does. Everybody in the AL needs a bat. So
they do.
It's not
or three. It's kind of amazing.
I would not be surprised if there was some type of trade that happened that got Trey Turner moved to the Rays. He'll be moved to second base, where he'll be more comfortable, much more comfortable, and would be a good bat for them, and could be the move for them to make that. Now, he gets paid a lot of money.
Yeah,
that's the problem with that thought process there. But calls right at that time, it's right at that.
Hey, what are you doing? What am I doing every day at this time?
Well, yeah, it's actually one of the writers. So the writer, I'm like, he's calling me up to get a quote from me. So, but anyways, so I think that could be a possibility where we get some bullpen help because we need it. We need some bullpen help, and we have. They said they made a statement yesterday that a Game 5 starter hasn't won a game since May 17th.
Wow, that's rough.
That's rough. Now,
that
doesn't mean that they've lost every game. But
are you trying to get a plug and play guy, or do you think you'd be trying to get prospects that are, doing well, just about ready to move up in like a AAA situation?
No, we need actual.
Gotcha.
So we have to get real guys that are in like the 4.5 range. That's what I'm thinking. Their ERA right now is 4.5, and they need a change of scenery. They're just not happy with what's going on where they're at. Fair. So, the Yankees, same situation. I think that they have a better bullpen than the Phillies, and some of their starting pitching is good. I mean, like I said, if that's what we learned in the first couple of games, their starting pitching was really good. For both the Phillies and the Yankees, at least in this regard. Nola is going to wind up going to the bullpen. He's got to. I just feel like that he has no choice. We're going to have to move him to the bullpen. And they're not going to find a fifth starter. They're just not. We don't have enough assets to trade away to get what we need. So it'll be interesting. We got a week.
Yeah. And on that note, we got to get out of here. Appreciate all of you watching our 600th episode. Thanks for going on this journey with us. Be sure to like and subscribe. Helps us bring our stuff to you. And of course, if you're listening on 97.3 ICU Radio, we have not been on your station for 600 episodes, although it has been, a few months for sure. So appreciate you tuning in also. And there is some smooth jazz exactly coming up next. Otherwise, we are going to get out of here. See y'all tomorrow.
Peace.